broker earlier today, and one of the things we were talking about was a property. I placed an offer on a property, and he want to bring me some properties. So he had asked us what our buy box is. So Stephen gave us a list of properties to go after. I put this together, representing this company, Instant Hotels, and then I go into the capital partners, the deal box, what we looking for. The price range, 100K to 5 mil. We can go up to 10 mil, but I really don't like touching too much hot. Like I touch it. It's just what I felt. When I'm gonna give it a buck. When it's a lot of money on the line, they have trust issues. So everybody is a little frustrated. It's very frustrating. Again, shout out to Steven. That's why I roll with the right people. So a cap rate at 6%, or realistically, we're looking for double digits. So this is one of the things I would say I didn't know when I first got in the game. This is valuable information right here. If you call a broker and they sell they sell commercial real estate, this is some good information right here. So owner type right here must be absentee property type, meaning we looking for absentee properties where we physically don't have to physically run it. We want to be able to put a operator in place. That's where I says bonus if there's a junior or related experienced manager that has operating skills. So that's a bonus if they got that. And then right here it says asset type. We go into the type of assets. Multifamily, mobile home parks, RV parks, gas stations, businesses backed by real estate must come with real property. Single family, only if it pass split value add model. Duplexes, triplexes, fourplexes, the more units, the better. I'm over here rhyming and shit, funny as hell. But the whole point that I'm trying to get out there is, hey, we'll look at it. Why we have so much is because we're a syndication group. What Steven is doing, he's basically leveraging these financial instruments. Again, like seller financing or contract for deed. You're leveraging these different ways of these different financial vehicles of how you can basically leverage debt in a sense. So again, income must be income producing today or rent ready. Meaning, hey, we need to be able to put somebody in there and get to work. We ain't got to worry about all that. Provide T12 rent rolls, financial report if cash flow makes sense. So it talks about the type of lending vehicles we willing to use. If traditional DSCR only, do not send it. DSCR must have it must come with seller financing, bro. It gotta come with seller financing. Seller finance only. We'll look at that all day. SBA plus seller financing. We'll look at that all day. It has to come with seller financing. That's our stitch. That's what makes us different from everybody else. We specifically focus on one thing and do good at that one goddamn thing. So for me, I like this. I didn't take this approach when I was a rookie. When I first started, I didn't take this approach, and I didn't take the approach because a lot of my mentors, they would tell you don't have shiny object syndrome, but the only way to really figure out what works for you is to have a little bit of curiosity. From my opinion, that's what worked for me. A lot of people was telling me, "Hey, only focus on this," and for a good moment of time, I listened. But I realized it wasn't working. For me, it started working once I started jumping into other things so I can figure out what the fuck I like. And to me, seller financing was the thing that worked for me. It was the thing that I always was getting properties under contract with. But again, them shits will fall apart for many different reasons. So you got the team in place now, it's easier. But seller financing was the thing that it's easy because most people are not willing to do it. So now it's more best like, okay, finding a person that want to do it. Now we got to negotiate some good terms that make sense. Now you got to remember, you can follow up. These are going to be people that you're going to have to follow up with because they're not understanding what's going on. Targeting markets, metro market, suburbs, optional rule if cash flow makes sense. Has to stick to the cap rate list above. Source, direct to seller or broker, agent prefer. Wholesaler accepted only if full financials provided. Seller contact possible. Clear motivation. Exactly. We ain't got time to be playing around. Come on.